Okay, when you open up your computer and turn it on, you're going to come to a different screen than what I have here. On my computer, you can see my grandsons. This is a couple of years ago, but you can see them. I've got a picture there. You can change this. And you probably read about that in your book, how you change your desktop. We'll read more about it in the Windows page. But when you go down here to the bottom of your screen, you'll see your taskbar. And one of your options in your taskbar is this blue E with a orangish yellow circle around it. That is the link for the internet. Now mine opens up to Google. They're all going to be different. Depends upon where you are, whose computer you're using, how it opens up. If you're on campus, it's going to open up to a Fresno City College webpage. That's going to be your home page. But once again, if you read your book, you're going to see how you can change that if you don't like that to open up there. Now, we are on Internet Explorer. What is Internet Explorer? You should have read this in your book. This is a web browser. This is a program that allows you to access the internet. And what's the internet? The internet is a huge link of web pages. What I've got in front of me here is a web page. I can go to any other web page. If I type up here Fresno City College.edu, I go to a different web page. Now, what is this bar that I just typed into? This is the address bar. You type in a web address in order to be able to access that website. And there's a couple of things I want you to look at about this website. When you see this website, you need to be sure this is not a secured website. It's not a safe website. If it were safe, you would see HTTPS, and you would also see a green bar here. So if you are not sure if your website is safe, check your address. If it's not there on your address, don't trust it to put in secure information. Now, why are we using Internet Explorer? I'm sure that some of you guys are saying, Internet Explorer is old technology. I don't want to use that. I use Google Chrome, or I use any of the others. We're going to talk about that a little bit in class. I want you to come prepared with what web browser do you use and why do you use that? In this class, we're going to use Internet Explorer 8 because that's really what a lot of companies do. There are certain web applications, like if you're using WebAdvisor or if you're using the Fresno City College email and you need support and you're on Safari, our help desk is not going to be able to help you because they don't support that. They do know some about Google Chrome, but most of your help desk have better information about Internet Explorer just because it's one of the older ones and because that's what they're used to. Okay, now, when you look at this website and you look at your screen, you have these drop-down menus here. You have File and what's here. You have all of these tools. And you also have your taskbar. The background here, this is your desktop. If you ever need to go to your start menu, you'll see go to your start menu. You're going to go down to your taskbar, and this blue button over at the far left is your taskbar. I mean, it's your start button, I'm sorry. So you may need to use that. So that'll help you navigate around the page. In your address bar, this web address is also called a URL. And make sure you know what a URL stands for. It is a Uniform Resource Locator. And that URL is in several parts. You have the HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Then you have the 2 slashes and www, World Wide Web, simple as that. Then the last portion is called the domain name. Fresno City, not the last portion, Fresno City College is called the domain name. The very last part, the last 3 digits, sometimes it is 2 in the case of certain domains. That is a top level domain. What do you think EDU stands for? Of course, it's going to be education. We've got .com, which is companies. We've got org, which is organizations. What about .uk, which stands for the United Kingdom? When you want to set a different website as your home page, so that every time you open up the internet, it will go to a different page. I'm going to set Fresno City College as my home page because I use that a lot. So if I go up to the address bar and put in the correct address, okay, and so it would be www.fresnocitycollege.edu. So you have to be on the home page you want to use. And you right-click on this tab right over here on the left-hand side that says, that is your home button, the one that looks like a little house. And select add or change your home page. Now, I'm going to select use this as my only home page. I don't want additional home pages. And I'm going to get a message on mine that says it's been changed. Okay, so I'm going to click yes for it to change. Now, if I go off the internet, when I go back into the internet, what will load on my home page will be Fresno City College. Now, I want to show you a couple more things about the screen here on your home page. I keep getting a message here. I'm going to close that. Over here in the left-hand side, upper left-hand corner, you've got a back button. Next to it, you've got a forward button. This forward button is not lit because I haven't gone back and forward to be using it. If I click back, it'll go to the Google screen. Okay, because that was the previous screen I was on. Now you see that the blue forward button is lit. If I click forward, it's going to go back to the Fresno City College homepage. Another thing that you need to know is there is such a thing as called tabbed browsing. You can have more than one tab open, so you can have more than one internet page open. If you go up here and you see the one tab is Fresno City College Home, right next to it is where you can see new tab. If I click on that, I get another tab. So I can be looking at the Fresno City College page and another page at the same time. That's called tabbed browsing. So if I want to say, I always like to look at the Yosemite, E-I-T-E, I think it is .org. Okay, and I like to look at the Yosemite page every once in a while just because it's something nice to look at. So say I'm looking at the Yosemite page and I want to go back and forth. Go over to the Fresno City College page, back to the Yosemite page, and you can have multiple pages here. So you can check that out. Now, a few minutes ago, I said something about a safe page. I'm going to go back to the Fresno City College page, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to see a safe page. Okay, if you go here to the Fresno City College for students, okay, and you go to online services, and one of those things online, you see forms online. If you click on forms online, okay, and I say I want to make a fee payment. Well, I would be very, very concerned about making a fee payment if it were not a secured site. But look up here. Remember how I said it would be HTTPS? There is your S, and your bar is green. So this is a secured site, and you can feel safe in making a payment through this secured site. So I wanted to show you that example of where you could find the secured sites. So be sure to check for those, because if you don't have a secured site and a company wants you to make payment or something is going on, don't do it. It's not safe. Also, you see here how I have tabs here for the Fresno City College. It also went over to a different tab for the payment, and I still have my Yosemite tab. So it opened up a secured tab for me to make this payment if I were wanting to do so. Your book talks about phishing sites, and that's not like you were dipping a line in a pole to catch a fish. This is phishing, which is P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G. Make sure you know what these are. It's an illegal activity where people are sending you fraudulent websites to get your personal information. There are websites that, like Bank of America, and there's the Bank of America site, and then there is a B of A site. You would assume that B of A may be the Bank of America, but take a look at those two sites. One is safe, one is not. Be very careful. So if you want to be I'm going to close this. If you want to protect yourself, be very careful of what sites you're going into. Now, if you go over here to your tools, you do have several things here. You have a pop-up blocker. You know how when you go into certain sites, and if you want to check this out, check out the Fresno Bee site. Fresno Bee site is a site that I really don't like. They have a lot of pop-up blockers, pop-ups. If you want to use your pop-up blocker, this will block some of those pop-ups that companies send to you. Okay, you also have a smart screen filter. This smart screen filter helps you detect phishing sites. So if you have your smart screen filter turned on, which I do, you can see, because it only gives me the option to turn it off. If my system suspects a site to be a phishing site, it will turn it off. It will notify me. Now, if I want to search for something, make sure to learn how to use your search tools. So if I were in my Google site, I'm going to open up a blank tab here. If I were in my Google site, there are several different ways you can search. You can search by keywords. Say I want to search for Yosemite. And see here how you get several different options. You can go to the national park. You can look up the fire. You can look up all kinds of things. Now, look here and take a look and see what I came up with. This is all different kinds of sites that have anything having to do with Yosemite. You can't see it very well on this screen, but this top portion, there is a box here. If you look on your computer, you can see a fine line here around these top boxes. Most of these top ones are advertisements. So be careful what site you go into. So, and then on down here, you've got news, you've got images, you've got all kinds of things. But one thing that you might not commonly use, look at these options here. You can get just maps of Yosemite. Okay, there's a map of Yosemite. And if I go back, there's images. This is just going to be pictures of Yosemite. Okay, and there's more options that you can use here. There's several different ways that you can use these search tools. And make sure that if you know exactly what you're looking for, maybe you're looking for Yosemite reservations. The more that you fine-tune your search, the easier it is going to be for you to search for things. I really want to go to Curry Village. Or what's the name of the, there's the different hotels there. So if you want a specific hotel, all you have to do is type in that hotel. often I find myself and I don't put enough information in, and I am scrolling through all kinds of websites here saying, what is it that I want? Okay, here's how to make a reservation. Here's how to stake your claim at Yosemite. That sounds interesting. So there's all kinds of things. The more that you learn about narrowing down your search, the better off you're going to be. Okay, well, that's about all there is for the internet.